Would I be the asshole for not attending my sister's wedding because she took off my wedding ring? I am a 46-year-old woman. My husband passed away about 18 years ago. Before he left, I promised him I will remain faithful to him for the rest of my life. To this day, I've never taken off my wedding ring. Even when I shower and exercise I leave it on. I have his on a necklace that I also never take off. This will all be important later. My younger sister has always disapproved of this coos. She's tried to set me up with men multiple times and every time I tell her I am not interested. My sister is getting married for the 2-road time. She had a little bachelorette party but it was not a normal one. It was me, her, our other sister, and he friend at her house. It was a nice little time. She's been married before so she doesn't really care about the experiences, she is just very in love with her fiancé, which is fine by me. She was a little tipsy so maybe she wasn't all there when she did this, but she blurted out, "Oh my god, you still wear your ring?" And I said, "Yeah, I always will," and she said, "Girl, take it off already and get back out there." I said, "I am not interested." She argued, saying that I wear the necklace with his ring on it so I don't have to wear my wedding ring. I ignored her and she took my hand and I honestly thought she was going to kiss it and apologize, but she took my ring off my finger and said, "Much better." I grabbed it back from her and I know this wasn't the best thing to do, but I was worked up and I yelled at her. I said, "Never do that again, you hear me?" And she said it was just a joke and I yelled again and said, "Never do that again," and she said, "Okay, I want G's," and everyone went quiet. I went home and cried. I feel really bad for yelling at her. I just couldn't control my anger. I felt so disrespected. I told her today I will not be attending her wedding, and now my mom and other sister are saying I am a horrible sister and all that. Be honest, am I the asshole? Not the asshole about yelling, but why WBTA for not going to the wedding over this? Also, being alone for the rest of your life because your husband died when you were 28 is a really bad idea. Please get therapy and get over this. You don't have to keep a promise to someone who is no longer living. Not the asshole. She'd already crossed the line when she started mocking you for wearing it. Then she doubled down and removed your ring? Nope, not okay. And knowing this isn't the first time you've asked her to stop on this topic? Why is she so obsessed with getting you to date? She claims removing the ring was a joke. Ask her to explain the punchline. Not the asshole. Not attending the wedding might be a bit much, but your sister is majorly at fault here. She cannot take a hint and seems convinced that she's somehow in charge of your love life. Man, that's just terrible behavior. Am I the asshole for refusing to eat what my sister-in-law cooked when he knew I was a vegetarian? I, F28, have been a vegetarian for over 10 years and all my family knew and respected that. Even my sister-in-law, F25. A couple of times a year my sister-in-law and brother, M24, visit us in New York from Florida. Usually my sister-in-law will cook something for one of the nights that they stay for dinner. This time she ended up cooking a roast chicken dinner, with beef rice, and a shepherd's pie, which does have ground lamb. I told my sister-in-law that I couldn't eat that because I'm a vegetarian, in case she had forgotten. She told me that she spent over 3 hours cooking and that I was going to deal with it and eat it, or not eat for that night. I told her to calm down and that I was just going to make myself a salad. This made her break down in tears, saying that I was disrespectful to her and the hours she spent cooking. While this was happening I just made a salad and ate it in the living room. To this my sister-in-law told me that I was never allowed to eat her cooking again. Which to me wouldn't be a big deal because she continues to make non-vegetarian meals. So, am I the asshole? Not the asshole. Excuse me, she visited at your home and said you eat the meat she cooked or you're not allowed to eat for the night. Is she seriously that deluded? Please tell her that she is projecting, she is the disrespectful one, and she is not allowed to visit again. This doesn't make sense. In the past, a couple of times a year, she has always cooked a vegetarian-friendly meal. But this night she suddenly decided to cook a bunch of meat and throw a fit? Why? How? Also, who cooks a roast chicken and shepherd's pie and beef with rice for a dinner for 4? With no vegetable sides at all? What kind of weird meal combo is that? Not the asshole, and she basically went out of her way to make sure that every side dish also contains some kind of meat. What's up with that? Seems pretty intentional. Not the asshole. Is there something else going on with her? You host her, it's your kitchen, and she is being so rude about it. I wouldn't allow her to stay again. Am I the asshole for refusing to change a custody agreement because I'm not being offered anything in return? My ex and I share 50-50 of our 9-year-old son. Basically we have him every other week. She also has a 5-yo from her second marriage. They're divorced and the custody arrangement is like ours except she the 5-yo on the week that I have our 9-yo. Her second ex-husband refused to work around our custody agreement, so my ex asked me to change ours. This is a huge deal and the reality is that I cannot just sign off it. If I just say okay, then she'll start asking for more accommodations at my expense. I told her to think about what she's going to offer me to go along with this plan. She got mad that I just wouldn't just do it. Honestly, if she would had offered me something like an extra holiday, then I'd go along with it. She even said that she wasn't going to pay my legal fees because a judge has to sign off any custody changes in our state. Now she's pissed and I don't care. Edit. Both boys are just as happy being together than not. Why? Because they get to have their parent all to themselves and my relationship with my son is more important than with his brother. I work in a family law office and dealing with Oz like you are the worst part of the job by far. Instead of doing what's in the best interests of your children, like preserving a healthy co-parenting relationship that will make your children's lives materially better, you are choosing to be a major awe. Worst of all, it's the kids that usually suffer the most when you have a parent being a grade A asshole like you are. You are the asshole all the way. Your "fuck you, got mine" attitude disgusts me. You are the asshole. Your son should be growing up with his sibling. He's a human being, not a bargaining chip. Be the better person. Love your child more than you hate your ex. Swap weeks so that the siblings can see each other. The only reason no to use a work situation where you are deployed or working overnight during those weeks. Am I the asshole for throwing my wife a birthday party and royally pissing my mom off? My wife and I are currently staying with my parents because we just couldn't afford the cost of living in this area. We are both currently looking for better jobs and/or something cheaper, but it is what it is right now. My mom and wife share a birthday and there aren't words for how much my mom hates this. There was lots of whining in the beginning, jokes about can't I just get a new girlfriend, and as of right now she does her best to avoid my wife the entire week of the shared birthday. Outside of that she is a decent mill, mostly pleasant to her, but their relationship is surface level, and they could both do without the other. My mom is currently at home recovering from surgery from a torn ACL, so she isn't doing much this year, though my dad got her cakes, food, and easily thousands of dollars worth of presents. My wife has been feeling pretty down due to our living situation and some external factors, and I wanted to cheer her up. I asked my dad if we could have some people over. He said yes, but to be fair I didn't specify it was for a birthday party. I'm not sure he even remembered it was my wife's birthday as he is totally disinterested in her, and he was in the middle of doing stuff for my mom who was acting very princessy about her surgery. I invited our closest friends and set up a nice little party for my wife. At some point my mom did come down and realize what was going on. I saw her look to the decorations and cake and she looked pissed. My dad quickly ushered her away and promised they would go out when she was better, but she said it wouldn't count. My dad came back out and muttered to me that I'm an asshole for doing this and called me insensitive and a mooch. He came out an hour later and shut the party down as he claimed we were being too loud. I don't think we were, but it was getting late so I didn't mind too much. My wife loved it and had a great birthday. I fully intended on cleaning up myself but was too tired to do it that night. My mom came down in the morning and saw the things still up and got pissy again. I was in the process of cleaning them and told her not to worry, I would take care of it. She just glared at me and stormed off. My dad came back down and berated me for throwing it in my mom's face that my wife got a birthday party and she didn't, and told me he can't stand me and can't wait for us to leave. I told him they are both being crazy and my mom doesn't own the date. He shot back that I tricked him as he didn't realize it was a birthday party, to which I laughed and said maybe he should know his own dill a bit better. He complained to some family and now my aunt and her husband are calling me an asshole as well. ETA to be clear about the mess. My mom only cared because she saw birthday stuff. She has never in her life cared about a mess. She once threw a handful of glitter in her own living room. I only brought it up to let her know I wasn't planning on leaving it for the housekeeper as I thought that would be disrespectful. I'm sorry, I disagree with a lot of these people. Not the asshole your wife can celebrate her birthday. Your mom doesn't own the date just because she was born first. You are the asshole. You intentionally asked your dad for permission and chose to be vague, because you knew your mom would be displeased. Your mom who's recovering from major surgery too, whose birthday it also was. Was literally every restaurant in your city town, or within driving distance in nearby cities towns closed? It's their house, so you need to grow up and show some respect. Not the asshole. Are y'all serious? Op didn't do anything wrong. His mother is bitter and mean. Not the asshole. Your mom needs to grow up. I've literally seen children behave better when not having things go their way on their birthdays. Frankly, adults who behave the way your mother is over their birthday are raging narcissists emo.